Hello.
Okay, here we are, MetalTalk. We're at Skegness, Great British Rock and Blues Festival. I've just been completely deafened by the Tygers Of Pan Tang, just played a storming set. I'm here with guitarist Robb Weir.
Here it is.
Jack, I hope you say your surname correctly. Meille.
Kind of.
And new guitarist, Micky Crystal. Welcome to the gang.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right.
And, let's start with you, Micky. You're a new guitarist in the band and enjoying it so far?
Yeah, definitely. It's you know, it's a lot of fun. You can't complain. Stand on stage and play guitar. What more is there to say? You know, it's great. And the guys are awesome. So
Really?
sometimes.
Well, since he's a new boy, it's what, 2 years?
2 years,
Yeah, two and a bit
Yeah.
years. So yeah, it's sort of new.
And you're recording a new album at the moment. You're actually in the studio right now.
We are, yes.
So how's that going for you?
Absolutely tremendous. I think as of yesterday, it's officially nearly finished.
And when you go into the studio, do you go with the songs with you, or do you write them in a studio?
No, it's all done and pretty much sorted out. So we kind of know what we're doing because we tend to work very quickly.
We turn into positive the fact that I live in Italy, so we use old technologies, modern technology to share files and everything, so that.
I was about to ask you that actually, because you do live in Italy, and so how does that work? Does it affect the chemistry in some ways? You know?
Not at all. Not at all. We don't. In fact, we don't even rehearse with Jack. I think in the last 11, 12 years. Is this year 12 now?
They rely on me.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's not exactly.
We've had about 4 rehearsals, so it's just not. It's just something that we cope with and we learn.
Yeah.
And Craig, this is going to sound quite bizarre, but musicians will get it. Craig has become Jack on the drums. And what I mean by that is he gives us cues when we're rehearsing. He develops his drum style and his drum writing and gives us cues as to where Jack would be with verses and choruses. So it makes it. He's so clever. It makes it a breeze to rehearse. It really does.
Actually, both Craig and myself are the ones who mostly write down melodies and lyrics, so that also helps a lot. So we first share thoughts and demos and everything. So that when he goes to rehearsal, he explained them. So we actually found a quite smart,
A good way of doing it. Absolutely. Yeah. It works for us.
Excellent. And I know I see on Facebook last night you put a message up, and you invited like 20, 30 fans down to add their voices. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
We did, yes. Michael's going to tell us something about that.
Yeah, we've got a song. Kind of the working title is Glad Rags, and it's like a Rolling Stones meets Black Crowes, rock and roll, good time kind of party song, really. And the chorus, I personally think, I'm sure the guys would agree, is very memorable. And we basically decided to invite the people of Newcastle, friends, fans, to come down and sing the chorus and just get a big kind of football stadium chant on the song. And it sounds huge.
Was beer involved to get them a bit lubricated? And
well, you know, it's a rock and roll band, so I'll let you decide.
We lubricated them, but I think that was from the chemist, wasn't it?
I'll go there. And you've been playing loads of festivals over in Europe and everywhere else, and like tonight you give an hour set, but you sort of squeeze like 16 songs into the set. You know, it's obviously that must be really well rehearsed. You know, because 22 songs like medleys. You know,
we just play them twice as fast.
Yeah.
What we did, we get asked for so many different songs, and there's so many songs to choose from.
Yeah.
Because it's a fair old back catalogue. So in order to play, more songs in that time, because obviously we get told how long we play for, we decided to put some in medleys. So in the 3 medleys, you're getting 8 songs, within 3 songs, if you like, within 3 sort of slots. So it works really, really well.
It does work well, because normally I hate medleys, it's something I totally despise, but for some reason it works.
Yeah. Well, they've been very carefully chosen, very carefully pieced together. So you go from something that something
Sometimes we actually use the medley as a test, meaning
Yeah.
why shouldn't we do this? Is what happened? What happened with Paris by Air? We were kind of we were not 100% sure of putting it in the set list, and then it came the idea, why don't we put it in the medley and see how it goes down? And obviously it goes down really well. So maybe next time around it'll be
And you say it's a medley, but it's almost. It's
all
damn it, the full version, actually.
Yeah, exactly. With that particular song, we just go to the we actually play it almost in full.
Yeah.
We're probably coming to the end of the medleys, that we've done, and we'll be inventing new ones. Because obviously we've got songs from the new album to fit into the set.
Of course, yeah.
For our certainly for our British and European tours this year. So we'll be looking at it all again.
You just mentioned British European tours, but you've got some dates lined up in South America. I believe it's the first time
Ever.
in the history of Tygers Of Pan Tang.
It is, absolutely. Yeah. The world's going crazy. We're playing places that we've never played before.
Like even Colombia, in a big band tank over there.
Yep.
This Geordie boy is going to have a real good big
It's we're flying out on the 9th of March and not coming back till the 21st, and
it's going to be a tough schedule.
a tough schedule, playing every night. So they're taking in some countries as well.
And I believe you just signed a record deal for 2 albums. Tell us more about that.
We have, yes. Jack's turn.
Well, I don't know if we can actually
No.
say it, but we've signed.
Yeah.
We've signed a record deal.
Yeah.
We signed it actually on
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we cannot actually say with who until there's going to be like an official statement from the record label.
Yeah.
But we're very pleased.
But what does it mean to the band? What does it bring to the band?
I think it brings. At least we're hoping it's going to bring very much spreading the word in on the next level. If you like, the record company that's involved are very big on PR and promotions. Absolutely. So they're really pushing the boat out to. Three things. We're actually talking about this coming down in the tour bus today. 3 things. The people that know the Tygers will be aware there's a new album. The people that aren't sure that the Tygers are still going will certainly know that the Tygers are going and will kick their bum if they come to see us. And the third thing is that the people that are unsure but waiting for news will certainly get to know as well. So it's kind of a 3-pronged attack that they're looking at as well.
Fantastic. And last year, when the CD came out on Skull Records, it's like limited edition to 1,000 copies. It was the Tiger Sessions first wave, which is actually previous recordings through your fan club. We recorded tracks from the Wildcat and Spellbound album.
That's right, yeah.
And why did you revisit those tracks in the first place?
Something that we wanted to do.
Definitely.
We wanted to go back and have a look at the first 4, classic albums, but with 30 years worth of technology, and make them sound fresh and make them sound bigger, and just give them a bit of a looking over.
It was also the idea behind was also that we wanted to reconnect the band to those 4 albums, and we wanted to make a statement that we want to keep that vibe going on. So if you come to our gigs, you will get the old stuff.
Yeah.
Because we like the old stuff. We enjoy the old stuff. And the old stuff, but it's not going to be just like a cover band, a tribute band. It just does it exactly as it was. Every song has a little twist that's been rearranged for the for the lineup by the lineup at that time. Even the Crazy Nights album now, EP, the Crazy Nights EP was actually was Micky first recording with the Tygers, and obviously that gave him the opportunity to put his stamp on it. So when people come to see us and we play Love Don't Stay or Raised on Rock, it's the new version.
And I imagine for you, Jack, and you, Micky, it's quite a challenge really, because you're singing the vocals of John Defrill, great singer. You're doing the guitar work of John Sykes, so that must be some challenge.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, John Sykes is a big hero of mine, and I think you got to step into that role and kind of look at it as well. I've got to try and emulate what he did, but try and put my own, let my own voice shine through. So it's just taking things of his style, certain runs he would do, the way he would do vibrato, like in a slow, very wide vibrato, just taking things like that, which wasn't necessarily the way I kind of approached it before, and just hopefully sounding a little bit more, like the Sykes influences coming through, while sounding like me, I guess. And hopefully that comes through.
Definitely.
It absolutely does, and it's not a challenge, for anybody in the band, because the band is so talented. It really is.
And I remember him the first time, after the first rehearsal that we did together. That the first thing he said to me, just feel free and comfortable to change anything.
Yeah.
Anything you like, meaning it's you. You are now the singer, so you have complete freedom. And it was me actually just like Micky, a little bit concerned about this statement, because I said, well, but John Dever is such a huge influence. Meaning it was kind of unique singer at those times, because he was kind of he kind of put together two styles of singing. I would say the British. The British the British hard rock that was coming from Ian Gillan and Coverdale and Robert Plant, with something completely new than Bruce Dickinson and other heavy metal singers have kind of developed. So he was a kind of he was experimenting on some song a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I wanted to keep that kind of feeling, because. Actually, Tygers were quite a unique band at that time.
Yeah. And I must say, as a hardcore fan myself, from the old days, the EPs, but I love them. It was like you chose.
They were really one of a kind. I remember buying Spellbound. Unfortunately, when you were already kind of not. The band was disbanded.
Oh right,
because I'm old, but not that old.
Right, yeah.
But I was like blown away by that album, because it was like, wow.
You have recorded tracks on Wildcat, Spellbound, and Crazy Nights, but not The Cage, which I'm surprised about. I think if any album does need recorded and updated a little bit and a bit of welly to it, it's songs from that album.
It's happening.
It is happening. Good.
It's happening. Yes, it'll happen towards the end of this year.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, I think that The Cage, since Micky joined the band, we kind of more open-minded. So in the past, there were always some. Not everybody in the band was 100% sure of having a try on the songs that were on The Cage. I don't, because it obviously sounded at those times very modern, and now it sounds a bit old-fashioned and old. Yeah. It's not. So there was always, how can we do that, or how can we rearrange that? And I have to say, I give it to Micky, and Micky said, well, why just don't play it in rehearsal and see how it works. And Paris by Air work fantastically. We played a couple of times in the Rendezvous.
Yeah. Oh really?
It went down really well.
There's a cracking new version of Rendezvous on the way.
Wow, that's interesting to hear. Because funny enough, that was the one song on the album I never liked originally. Fair enough.
Right. that was actually a bit of
somebody else was an outside writer wrote that song.
It was an outside writer, yes, yeah. And it was actually reviewed for Kerrang, I think, by Joe Elliott.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right.
In 1982.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of.
It's funny enough you mentioned Def Leppard, because you sort of beat them at their own game in some ways. Where you were the first sort of new wave British heavy metal band to come up with a commercial album. You beat them by a year or so. And maybe in some ways it went against you because you were the first.
Well, I always thought that The Cage was like some kind of hysteria ahead of time.
Yeah.
It was not the right time, but it was going the right direction.
Exactly.
And there were
many other bands followed suit after that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we took a chance, and Peter Collins, who was a pop producer, produced it, and then of course I think we were the hard rock guinea pigs, and it certainly worked for us, and it worked for him, and he went on to doing loads of other things within the hard rock field, but it worked really, really well. It was a different direction, MCA were trying to push us across the pond, so that they wanted that feel on that particular album. But we're about to have a look at 5 or 6 of the songs, and
I can't wait. I don't want no surprises, I'll like to wait.
No, they'll be faithful, but they'll melt your speakers.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because people don't remember that. If you listen to the B-sides that were released,
The Life of Crime, quite heavy.
They were quite hard. They were quite heavy and hard rock. So it was like, in that particular case, the balance that was supposed to be found wasn't found.
No.
Between the more pop and AOR influences and the hard rock that was still going in the band.
Yeah, I think MCA really wanted us to go more pop, and use more outside writers, which really went against the grain with me.
Well, in some ways, they asked you to do Love Potion number 9, which is a Leave a Stoller song, which was a hit single, but obviously you don't go down that route all the way, do you?
No, and indeed, when I heard that song, I thought, how on earth can this be anything like, But so Tom, our manager, tells me I came up with the front bit of it, like the start of it, which is just by fluke, I think, and off we went, and. It's we've been playing it for the last 38 years, 36 years, something like that.
Can't take it out of the set list.
No,
it has to be there.
Yeah.
No matter. There's actually only one country where we can actually avoid to play it, which is Holland.
Why is
Because
that?
apparently they won the whole the full Wildcat album. And we played. I remember that we played once, and we came out for the encore. We played Love Potion number 9, and right after after show, a couple of people came and said, "You don't have to do that. Don't do it again." I said, "Sorry, we thought you that's not heavy metal."
But there's a new cover on the way.
Ooh.
That's all we're gonna say.
I believe that'd be the second cover version you've done, really.
Yeah, well, we did Tush.
Of course, yes.
Tush is All or
yes.
Nothing. And All or Nothing, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, crikey, they're all coming out the woodwork.
Well, no, they were demo live and studio versions, though, weren't they?
Yeah, All or Nothing was kind of a B-side.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was just fun. Which it's a bit of rock and roll. Everybody needs a bit of rock and roll in their life.
Yeah. And you just mentioned Wildcat album, and it was 35th anniversary last year, and
Right.
what did that album mean to you when it did pretty much in the charts? It was number 13 album.
It was. Crikey. I never expected anything like that. I really, really didn't. And Chris Tangarides and I think Rocky and I and Tom met near King's Cross Station when it had charted. And Chris was all excited and over a cup of tea or whatever we were drinking, and said, "We've got a hit album on our hands. How's this happened?" It was just one of those things. It's obviously what the British record company wanted, and it was back in those days. It wasn't a rock chart that we were in. This was the national British album charts. So we were in with Gloria Gaynor and David Bowie and Michael Jackson and with some absolutely mega star artists, and there's the little old Tigers wedged in at number 13. So
of course, back in 1980, 81, you go in a record shop and there'd be a big 12-inch slab of vinyl on display.
Absolutely, 1980, and the old Wildcat sort of tiger growling at you. It was unbelievable, and we're very, very thankful for people to embrace us.
Fantastic. And Jack's been in the band about 12 years now, I believe. And
November 2004, that was my audition in Darlington.
It was. It took him about 45
and I kept it like
seconds.
what has Jack brought to the Tigers?
Why was he brought to the Tigers?
What has he brought to the Tigers?
What has he brought to the Tigers?
No money.
What?
No money.
What hasn't he brought to the Tigers is an easier question to answer. He's brought an absolutely magnificent voice. He's a great lyricist. He works in harmony with Craig, with the melodies, and they come up with some outstanding stuff. What the interesting thing, songwriting wise, Mick or I or Gav can come up with something quite dark and quite heavy, and when the two boys start writing lyrics, they can be almost to the other side of the tracks, poppy if you like, but when the two meet, it makes fantastic hard rock. It's like a musical chemical equation.
Film.
It's
I want a copy. I have to give it to Craig also.
Do you feel that since Jack's been in the band, it's totally reunited the band?
Absolutely, yeah. And indeed, with starting it kind of again in 2000, it's evolved. It's evolved, and all the members that have been in it have all played a huge part, in bringing us to where we are today. But it's
the sad thing about it is that I was the young one when I joined the band.
You were the baby, yes.
I was the
Now
baby.
we've got a new baby.
and now, we have a new baby. Yes. So it's we're crazy people. It's very much run as a family, and as a family we all have our little family titles.
I think you're not a rock and roll band unless you don't.
Well, yes, but yeah, we all yes.
And I must talk to you about the gig I saw it last year, the Garage Days where you visited. And you did a version of Don't Touch Me There, which is a great version which you do these days. It's slightly a bit more laid back and bluesier, still hard rocking.
Yeah.
But you guested with Veronica Freeman from Benedictum.
Yeah.
It's a little bit larger than life in more ways than one. Did you enjoy that moment with her on stage? Because it's quite a good version.
I'm not sure what you mean, larger than life. Can you explain that? Was it something?
Well, I'm good bosom buddies.
It was hard. It was
Good bosom buddies.
It was hard for
boys and girls. That might be a clue. Who lives in this house?
And, did you rehearse that at all, or was that just straight off the cuff?
No, actually, what happened is that you received an email.
I did.
Directly from her management.
Yeah.
Saying that she was going to be there, and she would really like to do a song together.
Huge fan, apparently.
Yeah.
Huge fan of the band.
So we suggested a couple of songs, and she came out. I'll do Don't Touch Me There, and we were all like, okay.
Yeah.
So
But we had no idea what to do. Actually, we there was no rehearsal, or not even I didn't have a chance to say what you want to sing. You want to sing the second verse, the first verse, and she said, "Oh, let's get on stage and just
see how it
rock."
goes.
Yeah. Oh, it worked really well.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And a lot of fans out there, they do like to know what the previous members were up to in Tygers of Pan Tang. And Rocky Laws, the original bass player, was in the audience that night.
He was.
And I never knew that myself. Did you know?
I knew he was coming. Yes,
Yeah.
I did. Over the past few years, I've spoken to Rocky probably 2 or 3 times a year. We call each other. He's a very successful music lawyer. Works in the business here and in New York as well. I've asked him on a few occasions when we've been playing in London, if he was available or around or whatever. But we've never kind of quite sort of been in the right place at the right time together. And he came down. He brought one of his daughters down, and it was just I hadn't seen him for 20 odd years, and it honestly brought a tear to my eye. It was fantastic, but it was also nice that he gave me his personal blessing, that everything's cool and everything's all right. So I don't like that word "cool." I don't use it, but everything's he's happy with everything, and he thought it was great. He was genuinely blown away with it all, which was a massive comfort. I really had a great weekend that weekend. We did 3 festivals that weekend in Scotland, Scotland, and Yorkshire as well. Yes, we were all over the place. But it was really, really good to see him.
And I think the last time I interviewed you about 3 or 4 years ago, you sort of lost touch with John Deffel, but I believe you're back in touch with him again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and John's the next one to come to one of the shows. John is an actor, a very successful one, and. he tours around the country with West End Productions. So it's really a matter of timing to get John to one of the shows. But it's going to happen.
John Duval is now named.
John Duval. It's John Devil, believe you me.
He did say he was going to come to one.
I think that the fact that also Tom, who was the original manager from the Tigers now, is now back on track and is managing us.
Really?
Has made a huge helped a lot to get all the reconnect with all the past members.
Absolutely, yeah. Tom, unbeknownst to me, flew out to Rome to see us play last year. Yes, we played Rome last year. And I got quite a cryptic message. About 3 days later, when he was back in the UK, just asking about future plans and stuff like that, and I thought, oh right, okay. So when we got back to the UK, I called him up and said, please explain. And he said, come round to my abode and we shall talk. And he's now back in charge, looking after things. Fantastic. He's like the big daddy. That's really sorting things out for us, and he has a vision of 18 to 2 years ahead. Knows he's planning for us.
It's nice to have somebody now really taking care. And caring about.
Well, we've got a manager who knows the history of the band well.
He's keen for us to look after the music, and he looks after the business, and we're really happy with that. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it was good that meaning he did a lot in the past, but he felt like something more he could have done something more way back. And the minute that he had the time and the opportunity and he saw us and he said, this is the right time to maybe give it another go.
Absolutely.
Which is fantastic. So it's like having another member of the family back on board.
Absolutely. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. And sadly this year, there's been you turn the news on and every day there seems to be like a rock star, an iconic rock star's been passing away, and people like Lemmy.
Yes, absolutely.
You posted a great photo on Facebook recently. You and Lemmy. Where was that taken?
That was taken backstage Reading '82 when we co-headlined with Iron Maiden.
Wow.
So he actually especially came down to see us because I'll try
to tell the story. Come on, Rob.
I'll try and shorten.
Tell the story.
I'll try and shorten it. We took out a Malcolm Hill rig on the UK tour, on the Cage tour. We managed to blow it up by playing too loud. So we then had to, and Tom then had to find another PA company. So we took out Audio Lease, which had some association with Motorhead. So what we didn't realise is when the Audio Lease big black boxes in those days came, so did Motorhead. And bits of Saxon as well. So Lemmy and Phil came to several of the shows. In fact, we were playing Liverpool Royal Court, and Phil Taylor climbed up on the very top of the PA and fell asleep while we were playing. So the people in the balcony could actually touch him. But I think it was a Jack Daniels induced sleep. We used to kind of kick about when we were down in London together and stuff like that. So really, he was Mr. Rock and Roll.
Yeah, definitely.
He really was it. And what a nice guy. There's not a bad bone in that fella's body. Real nice fella.
That's good to hear. We've also sadly lost David Bowie. Are you big David Bowie fans at all?
Mick was. Yeah. Well, I think we all were, but I think you particularly.
Yeah. To be honest, the stuff I really got into with Bowie was around the Let's Dance era. Just when I was like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That's right.
Guitar.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was unknown at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. When I first started playing guitar, that was like my big kind of guitar hero, and then started looking at kind of what was Stevie Ray do, what did he play on other than obviously his own stuff, and then discovered the Bowie stuff. So went back and checked out all the other Bowie stuff. So got into that. So yeah. I think very, very sad. I think it's kind of one of the few guys I think you can kind of call a true artist. It was more than just just the music. It was obviously the fashion, the image, and everything. Not just this is my musical ability. I had the whole package, which I think
he constantly reinvented himself. And in fact, a journalist came up with probably the ultimate quote, which I listened to on the radio, saying he wrote a song for everybody. It doesn't matter what musical
Yeah.
persuasion that you have. He wrote a song in that particular genre,
Yeah,
that
it's a good
particular
line,
style.
yeah.
So, and I thought that's great. You know, from the Rebel Rock days through to Let's Dance and all sorts of stuff. Very, very clever man.
What about Glenn Fry, the Eagles? You're an Eagles fan?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you know, we woke up today and just found out
Jimmy
Jimmy
Payne,
Payne
yeah.
Jimmy's
Jimmy Payne,
gone.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I was just listening to the advanced tape of the promo tape of the
Last in Line,
which
yeah.
is a great album. But looking forward to see them in Italy, because they were one of the few gigs that were already confirmed was the Frontiers Festival. So I was looking. Okay, it's in April, so there's no Tigers gig. So I was looking forward to maybe, you know, go and check them out live. So it's like it had to happen at some point. So and it's happening.
Yeah.
So obviously is a bit of your youth that just goes away.
Yeah.
But it's strange what we were saying about Bowie. Bowie, that is the fact that it's a big loss. But he left so much that it's. I mean, if you go now, I went in Newcastle to HMV store, and it was like, and obviously that the thing that you immediately realize that every album is something new, completely different. There's always something. You have to go anytime. You can go back to any album and learn something, and that's really fantastic. And in terms of the Eagles, meaning the vocal harmonies is one of the top vocal harmonies.
Yeah.
I never had a chance to see them live. They came to Italy a couple of times. I never had a chance to go and
You
check
ever see the
them.
Eagles over the years, Rob?
Never saw the Eagles. No, and I would have loved to, because, crikey, how many iconic songs have
Exactly, yeah.
you know, have they written really? And I didn't realise. I have to say that he wrote some of the stuff for the Eddie Murphy films. You know, The Heat Is On, and that's I mean, crikey, that's no small song either, really. You know.
But the other thing is that they're so it's another kind of band where it's immediately recognizable from first chord. It's the Eagles.
Is Hotel California probably one of the most played songs ever?
Most definitely, yeah.
It's absolutely got to be.
Yeah.
It really has. But there must be the big fella upstairs. He must be short of musicians to call this many.
He's having a big
short
festival
periods.
right now.
Yeah, there is.
It is
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
And talking of other bands, just step out the Tygers of Pan Tang a little bit, because Jack's moonlighting on another band as well.
I know.
Lots of other bands.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I keep a very tight schedule.
You got the CD coming out, the General Stratocaster
Yeah.
and the Marshalls.
Marshalls.
Yeah.
For fans of Tygers of Pan Tang, tell us a little bit about them.
Well.
Great name for a band.
Come on. Now, unless we got 3 lawsuits in all at once from Fender, from Marshall amplifier, and from the Custer General Custer family.
Yeah.
So that's going to be. I hope it won't happen. Well, that's where I come from. I was always into
It's blues,
hard
yeah.
blues. I was obviously Led Zeppelin stuff,
Yeah.
but I was always into Bad Company, Free, and Paul Rodgers is a huge influence. Has been a huge influence through the years, and that particular case, it was the band came. I was invited at a birthday party, and there was, and without knowing the guitar player, who is the one in General Stratocaster, and we jammed all night, and so the day after I got a phone call saying, can we meet and talk? And I said, yeah, why not? So I explained to the other members of the band that that's obviously Tygers have my absolute top priority. So when it's like if you remember Led Zeppelin, when the movie The Song Remains the Same, I feel like sometimes like exactly like that when John Paul Jones said, oh, it's tomorrow. It's like, no, we got a gig. Oh, fine. When is it? Tomorrow. Oh, God. So, but that was sometimes happened with Tygers. So anyway, but it's for me I'm a compulsive musician. I need to listen to and I need to be involved in different projects to keep my mind going. So it's quite natural for me to have different projects where I can just share. I would say I can try to express different parts of my creativity, musical creativity. That's it.
Good, and the album's called Dirty Boulevard, and it's out in March, and
it's
I've heard it. It's a great album. It's worth checking out, people.
Yeah.
And for the Tygers of Pan Tang, what have you got in store for the rest of the year? Because I believe you've got a few festivals lined up.
Oh my goodness,
You're doing South America as well, aren't you?
Well, obviously the new album,
Yep.
which I think, to be honest, is, in my opinion, is kind of harking back to that, maybe the first 4 albums. Kind of, you've got the kind of the punk thing with Wildcat, the kind of classic feel of Spellbound and Crazy Nights, and there's a few AOR moments on there as well. So I think we're looking a little bit later in the year for the release of that. And then I'm trying to think of the festivals we've got.
South America?
South America, and I was going to say next month. No, it's March.
South America, March. We're back a couple of days, and then we're off to Holland. And Belgium.
Yep. We're out in Ibiza in the summer.
Then we do Alicante. Mega
Yeah.
festivals.
And Chicago.
Chicago, yeah.
Beginning of
First
May.
time in the US as well.
I say, when's the last time you played the US?
I've never played in the US.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You played Japan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and indeed our management's looking at that. So
Yeah.
as we speak.
Excellent. And Japan's a wonderful place to go to. So.
Japan and maybe
You
Russia.
should give us some advice.
Yes.
Record shop.
Oh, I'll do that. There's plenty of Tygers of Pan Tang final in Japan, believe me.
I remember a couple
Still
of
good prices as well.
a couple of photos of yours
Yeah.
when you were talking on Facebook, and I kept looking at all that vinyls and CDs, and I was like, he must tell me where he got.
Fair enough. I still remember the bollocking I got from my mother many years ago. I bought a Tygers of Pan Tang compilation. It was like some live tracks and B-sides. I bought it for £7.99 in 1982, whatever year it was, and I've still got the thick hair for it. Well, Jack, Micky, and Gavin and Craig over there as well. Tygers of Pan Tang, it's been wonderful speaking to you.
Thank you.
A fantastic gig today, and
very much
I'm
indeed.
really looking forward to the new album, because Ambush, the last album,
You'll
was
be one of the first
fantastic.
to receive it.
I hope so
Pretty sure.
too. All the best for the future.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.